Mexico has announced the biggest oil discovery in decades. The U.S. federal government is approving new leases for drilling. But as Nitza Soledad Perez reports, locals have mixed feelings about the drilling.
Life seems back to normal in Louisiana after the worst oil spill in American history blackened the waters here in 2010. And now with normalcy comes a return of the oil companies. The federal government is moving forward with the sale of leases for oil drilling in the Gulf of Mexico, ending the drilling moratorium that, according to many local residents, cost the region thousands of jobs.
We have children, grandchildren that's coming up, and most of them would like to live here. And if it continues that way, how will you live here? It would be like a fishing community instead of actual, just normal living.
The locals have endured the worst of the disaster and the policies that followed.
730,000 jobs across the U.S. were lost because of the moratorium and the after effects of that moratorium. The oil companies basically, the big ones have been able to survive just fine. The big drillers, the Transoceans and the Nobles and people like that, simply pull their rigs out of them and send them to places like Brazil and West Africa.
Although environmentalists are already contesting the new leases in court, plans to resume drilling are getting support from some unexpected places. 30% of the seafood produced in Louisiana comes from this town, Lafitte. And despite the environmental disaster that hit the region 2.5 years ago, many local fishermen welcome the new approved leases and future drilling. Joseph has been a Louisiana fisherman since he was a teenager.
You're gonna put people to work. Put them to work, baby. Let them drill. That's people's livelihood, drilling. Instead of sitting down at the house, they could be working.
Everybody's excited about the oil field leases because when this goes down, you need a place to fall back on. And oil field creates jobs. All these little boats you see running, servicing the oil field, they drive those boats when shrimping's bad.
At the end of the day, for people like Joseph and Rick, the most important thing is to go back home, knowing that they can provide for their loved ones. Nitza Soledad Perez, CCTV, Lafitte, Louisiana.